Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the summit, day 3 of 4, second day of the playoffs. Next up, we have Navi versus
Navi.
Narvi.
Yeah. I've heard like some people actually saying that we should call Navi by Navi, but that gets very confusing. So
It does. You
yeah,
can't say Navi versus Navi. It.
Navi US.
They probably should have thought of that before they signed the team. But anyways, who do you like going into this? Well, I mean, it's
I've always supported Vanilla Navi, Navi Classic, for the longest time. So people know it. They think I'm trolling sometimes, but you know I support Navi.
I see.
And yeah, you can hate on me for saying that. But then again, the US boys have come really far. So I like to support underdogs as well. So I just want a good game.
It'd be a shame for them to go home winless.
Yes, and get made fun of and stuff like that.
Yeah, it seems like in the group stage or 2 tiers, it was NAR 0-5 and everyone else. But at the same time, NAR, they didn't get blown out that badly in their games, I'd say.
They just got killed at the end of each game. They didn't really get crushed all the way. I think the only crushing game was EG against EG, where yeah, EG just rolled over them. But other than that, I think they put up a good fight. If you actually admin any of the games, I admin a lot of DK games, and they have a lot of strategy, a lot of coordination. They'll say stuff like, okay, guys, you stand here, or they'll count all the ultimates. They'll say like, oh, this guy's Bling, he has this ultimate right now, and we have to back off, we have to hide in the fog, and stuff like that, avoid fights, and it's just very, very, very coordinated. I'm surprised Fnatic actually took games off DK, so very amazing play so far, but Navi, do they bring out the Pudge?
I hope so. I've been missing the Pudge.
Yeah, I mean it's LAN, so Dandy has got to bring out the Pudge sooner or later, and it's lower bracket already, so it's the only time I think. Game 1 is where you mess around a little bit, and
Have we seen any teams mess around a lot with unusual picks besides Fnatic? I think Fnatic's the one, they bust out a little Meepo, they bust out some unusual things.
Undying? Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
they busted out the Undying.
But other teams, it seems, most of the time it's pretty plain unless I've missed a couple of games.
Yeah, I think there isn't any kind of... I mean, if you call PA mid funny thing, then that's funny, I guess.
But that was also Fnatic, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's also Fnatic, so I guess not. Maybe we'll see something funny, so which Navi is which.
So, first game in the
Navi,
best of
yes.
3, brought to you by Beyond the Summit. I am Merlini, my partner is Lysander, and we're well into the way of the draft. Navi Ukraine is on the Dire side. Navi US/Canada is on the Radiant.
Yeah, they did have first pick. I remember Brack saying he wanted first pick, and usually when you want first pick, you have a strategy in mind. You just want to pick, you don't care what they actually counter up with. And Navi actually picking Dire. I've heard from some teams, some captains behind the scenes, they do say they pick the Dire just to force out that Lycan ban. Because teams would just ban out Lycan against Dire. And it does free up more options for you to pick stuff. And Doom, we've been seeing a lot in this tournament actually. Along with Mirana. I think the stat was there. Mirana being very highly picked.
Yeah, and I think one of the more unusual things is Tinker first ban. It might not be so unusual. We've seen Dandy play it a few times, and it's been, I'd probably say, the most popular hero that wasn't expected to be a popular hero at this tournament. And Tree's kind of fallen off. Some of it due to the patch, some of it just because Navi haven't had too much success with it.
Yeah, and we see Phonic Doom, Havos, Mirana, so it's a very solid kind of lineup now for Navi EU. And what do you think they're going to pick from here? They ban out DK, Wisp, and the Bat Rider.
I think giving either of these teams Wisp is going to be a mistake. So I think if you're not first pick, you have to ban it. And Navi being second pick, Ukraine, we got to call them something else. I'll call them Narvi and Navi.
Okay.
Okay, so Navi being second pick, they have to ban out Wisp. I expect if this game goes 3 series, every single time, second team will ban out the Wisp. If not, it'll be first picked. Fog playing Disruptor. He has a pretty nasty Disruptor. And 1437 playing Enchantress. I've seen his Enchantress a couple of times, and it has taken over games. So
yeah, he told me it's his favorite hero. So we'll see. Well, the Enchantress is pretty good. It can actually mess around with, it can help out the mid lane, it can apply a lot of early pressure. And we'll see what Navi actually picks into. They have not finished their 4th ban, they're thinking about this, but the Disruptor, like you said, is looking really good at catching the Mirana as well. Catching Mirana, catching Doom, it kind of forces out the BKB from the heroes if they don't want to get caught out. And well, forcing a BKB first on Mirana or Doom will limit their damage potential.
And Navi, are they going to aggro try with Mirana, or are they going to sack the Doom?
It's a Funnic Doom, so I guess he's flexible either way. I think the last time a team tried to go Mirana, I think it was Narvi. Oh wow, okay. The last time they tried to go aggressive tri-lane with a Mirana, that was Navi. They got crushed because they faced up against a Luna, which is why I suppose you see the Luna ban, because you don't really want to go aggressive try on a Luna unless you are really sure you can beat it. Because Luna Blessing is just really strong. But with the Enchantress pick, they might aggro tri-lane, the early dual lane coming up from Navi US, so Brewmaster Dandy. Wow.
I've seen Funnic play it a lot too.
So is Dandy Doom?
I'm not sure, but I remember a couple of games before we saw Funnic on the Brewmaster. I think it was Radiant though, a little bit easier for him to offlane, and they did combo it with the Boots of Travel and the Tinker to just mostly win team fights. So
you could port to the the Brewlings. So yeah, it's a really strong pick, and well, one of his biggest counters, Doom, has been picked up. So
yeah, Disruptor has a hard road ahead of him. It's pretty much in charge of him to.
You can just ulti when he glimpses you. So
what about Invoker? Invoker has kind of been ignored by both teams, and sometimes we see it first pick, often by the Asian teams, and these two Western teams just don't really seem to like it that much.
I don't know. I'm not really sure if Narvi actually picks up Invoker that much. And I guess the Quaswex Invoker can be pretty cool, but after the Cold Snap nerf, you'll have a hard time actually locking down the Brewmaster at all, because Cold Snap's not gonna hurt, and you could try and drop an EMP Tornado on him to burn his mana, but Bottle Crow should fix that, and well, they go Kunkka. I like this. This is is this a Fnatic? This is a Fnatic draft as well, I remember. Was it Fnatic? One team did this. They had the Disruptor Kunkka. They had two people to pull you back. So you keep having to watch your position. So the minute you're out of position, you get punished really, really hard by the X mark as well as the glimpse. So I think this was a Fnatic draft with a Meepo. Yes, I remember this. Yeah, they grabbed the Kunkka to tank up the Meepo, as well as being one of those initiators, or you could say gankers, but Kunkka, Brewmaster, who do you favor?
I think Brewmaster probably wins the lane by a little bit, and especially Brewmaster when he hits level 6. I'm a little bit worried for Narvi once Navi wants a 5-man, and they have to deal with Brewmaster ult. They don't really have a good way to prevent him from getting it off, anything like a Doombringer, let's say.
Silencer, I think that's the only way.
Yeah, Silencer. I mean, Disruptor can with Static Storm, but if Doom gets a BKB, Brewmaster gets a Blink, right now I don't really see Navi US or Narvi winning a team fight, so they're going to have to draft like something they can get upfront and personal and not really die very easily to the Brewmaster.
Yeah, it's just I just feel that like Silencer, Brewmaster is a hero that unless you stop his ultimate by just bursting him down or silencing him, there's really no counter, so to say, because the ultimate is just really strong in the early game to kill off. You can't kill any of the pandas, and in the late game, if you're trying to kill pandas, then Doom and Mirana will just make mincemeat of you. So I'm still along the line. I still think Silencer is the way, but I don't think they'll run Silencer.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, so they go Bristleback. They wanna muscle their way to an early game, I think.
Yeah,
they're lacking stuns though.
A lot of physical damage coming out though. I think Bristleback and Kunkka can possibly take out the Brewmaster ultimates, not level 6, maybe like the level 11 one. And there used to be this ridiculous bug in Dota 1. If you would X Brewmaster before he ulted, and then he ulted, and he returned, he would come back to
normal form.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't think it was in there for that long, but I remember this bug and I was like, well, that probably shouldn't happen.
It's the same as the Smoke of Deceit bug, where you just smoke in front of Brewmaster and he can't kill you.
Yeah, that was pretty broken.
Yeah, but I'm not sure does Hex take away Bristleback. Does it?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, but Doom, yeah, Doom removes it. So
does it?
Yeah, but I don't know why you would pick Bristleback though. There is.
Well, I think they need someone upfront and personal, because
they need tank.
They need you can't just let Doom run up and Doom Kunkka. You can't just let Brewmaster just straight up walk up and initiate on you. You need someone in the front of the fight, splashing around, getting vision of those important initiators and putting pressure on Navi. You don't want to, you know, impale finger him.
You don't think Timbersaw is a better idea?
Timbersaw is pretty good too, but Lion and Doom work very, very well versus him. Bristleback can just straight tank all those spells and not worry about dying. So I can see where they're going with the Bristleback. They don't have any minus arm to complement him, but it's still a hero that can just be in their face.
Oh wow.
Ooh, the Ursa.
Navi is playing very greedy. This is a support Mirana then. Support
and
yeah. Mid Brood.
Safe lane, Havos, Ursa, and Funnick Doom. Seems pretty reasonable.
And they threaten the level 1 Roche as well, I think. They can, right?
Yeah.
With Ursa, you always can,
with
right?
Ursa, yeah, you always can.
And how good's the level 1 for Narvi? Enchantress is not.
Bristleback's pretty strong at level 1. That's probably the only one. Disruptor, his Thunderstrike does a fair amount of damage. Kunkka, Torrent without any setup, going to be pretty terrible. Tidebringer, pretty long cooldown level 1, also pretty terrible.
Yeah.
So
Navi might just muscle their way to this. They might be a 5-man TP as well. I think that would be really difficult to stop. And now with the Razor, wow.
Razor, I was actually considering him, but that was before the Bristleback pick. I was like, well, what's a hero that can be up in front? Lion has mostly targeted spells, Unstable Current decent versus that, and he can suck a lot of the damage from Doom, but I don't actually think he works that well versus Ursa, because you won't have enough time to static link. Ursa will just kill you before you can suck his damage up. So
I think what Narvi are trying to do, they're trying to introduce a lot of cores now into the lineup for Doom and Brewmaster to pick. So they're just trying to pick as many, but yeah, like you said, I don't think Razor is the best choice. I mean, the Purge would be cute against Lion.
I see him often versus Doom. So what they do is he just like runs in, he static links Eye of the Storm, Plasma Fields, and then if you Doom him, whatever. I'm pretty sure he still gets the Unstable Current. He's already casting his Eye of the Storm, and he's already
used all his spells.
Using static link. So you still have to run away as Doom. You can't just like run in there like a man and just expect to win a fight like that. So Razor, a hero shunned by many, but I think he's a little bit underrated. Maybe
Vigi loves him.
Maybe a little bit overrated in the Asian scene, but as far as the Western scene, I think he definitely has a place. And he got a pretty sizable buff, 0.6 strength gain per level, as well as Unstable Current buff. So we'll see how Snaking does in that one.
I think a Viper would have been better here.
Viper's pretty good too.
Against Ursa, it's like staple. You have to pick it. Was it banned? I don't think it was banned, right? So
I don't think it was banned either. But yeah, it's decent versus Ursa. At the same time, they probably just ignore him.
And you doom him as well. I mean, dooming him, it slows your doom as well. So if you doom him, it slows your doom. And okay, I'm not sure if that works actually, but Viper doesn't really have a lot of spells.
He's so easy to just ignore though with Brewmaster Ultimate, I feel like he can't do anything, whereas Razor can at least do something, dump some AoE damage out with Plasma Field, and perhaps get a static blink before
the important thing will be the kiting and Navi's BKB timings. I think that's the most important. Disruptor needs a 6 really fast, and with the Enchantress jungling, he might get it. I don't know, it still feels iffy. I think Navi has a huge advantage in terms of draft.
Narvi is really tanky though. Unstable Current on Razor, you have a Kunkka with Rum, you have Bristleback with Bristleback, and I don't see them falling very easily in team fights. And Navi's is kind of burst oriented too. They have like Panda Ultimate, they have Lion with his finger, and Ursa's very bursty hero. Mirana also. So introducing the side of Narvi on the Radiant side, we have Snaking taking up the bottom lane as the old Razor. We have Fogged on the Disruptor, Enchantress played by 1437, scouting out the large camp. In the mid lane, we have Korok taking up the helm of Kunkka, and on the top lane, we have Brax on the Bristleback.
Alright, on the side of Navi, we have Alexander, Mr. Havos on the Ursa. We have Puppy on that Lion. Mirana gonna be played by Dandy in the middle lane. Doombringer played by Funnick. Is it Funnick? And oh no, Funnick's playing the Brewmaster, and the Doombringer is gonna be played by. Who's Doom played by?
I don't know. Kuroki?
Oh yeah, Kuroki. Yeah,
Puppy,
so
Lion.
Mix that up. I always get too used to Funnick playing Doom. So
yeah, I'm very used to that too.
Kuroki's gonna play Doom, and yeah, he's gonna be taking a jungle. So it's very greedy, but on the other hand, Narvi doesn't really have early aggression. So apart from the Enchantress, they actually don't have a lot of split push or counter push.
Yeah, they really don't, but at the same time, Navi doesn't really have that much push. So we actually see level 1 kinetic field coming out from Fog. Not sure if that... it actually did almost help him secure that kill. Kept him inside range for static link for snaking. But it looks like Funnick, how's he doing in terms of experience? Level 2, so not a complete fail in the dire offlane.
Yeah, but the Ursa Lion, I think they can kill the Bristleback if he doesn't get careful because the long disable times on Lion. So once he gets his hacks, he might try, but you don't want to get the Bristleback too many levels.
And it also looks like Navi was scared of the offensive jungle because they had that Obs Ward in their big camp right there and a Sentry Ward. So Brax unlikely to get too much out of this, but he's still getting levels. He's still almost level 3, so both off lanes doing perfectly okay.
I think the rotation has to come from the Enchantress, but Dandy's going to be pretty hard to gank. Oh, Torrent is going to land. It's going to miss, actually. So no kill for him there. Fires an arrow. That's where the arrow nerf actually comes into effect. You don't have that 0.5 second stun. Instead, you have that 0.01 mini stun.
So what do you think about them putting Dendi in mid on the Mirana instead of the Brew? Do you think that this greed is going to work out for them? Do you think that it would have been better suited for him to play the Brew and Funnick on the Doom and to support Mirana, or?
You know, I think Mirana mid is not bad because if you will ask me to choose Mirana and Brew, I think Mirana needs to farm in mid more. The Brewmaster just needs his 6, just brown boots. He can actually contribute a little bit. And there you go, the Hex. And they're going to impale. I don't think they'll kill him because of the Bristleback. They're taking a lot of damage as well. Oh, is he really going for this? He might die.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going to die.
Okay, underestimating the Bristleback there. What was Brax's skill build? Was he level 2 or level 3?
I think the Fury Swipes just wasn't high level enough. And that's just that. I don't know. He should not have gone in there.
Yeah, he only had level 1 Bristleback, but yeah, that was a little bit deep. He easily could have disengaged before his second Earthshock.
That was a 4 moment right there.
That was a Vos moment.
Yes,
indeed.
He had a lot of good moments in this tournament. He had some very questionable plays as well. And once there was a kill there, the Enchantress actually killing off Dandy, so must have had his leap on cooldown. While that was happening, Razor should not be able to kill the Brewmaster here. Oh, there's a glimpse. Maybe they will, and that's very well timed as well. Will he die here? Is there a miss? Oh, no miss.
Wow. So that's with the Drunken Haze too. Some RNG going in favor of Na'Vi. 3-0 on the board.
Well, the underdogs, man. There will be a team kill here, so it'll be kind of sad. But Na'Vi, the glimpse was well timed as well. The static blink didn't break while that was going, so that was a good kill, and it will help Disruptor hit level 6 a lot faster. So they might hit the timing window.
And we see some zoning out from the mana drain by good old Puppy, but looks like Brack's going to have his way with this lane. And this is kind of expected, I'd say, in the early game. Na'Vi going with a very greedy lineup with the Doom in the jungle, so they only have one support that's actually able to do stuff around the map, whereas you have Disruptor on the bottom constantly zoning out and messing with Funnick, and you have Enchantress applying pressure to other lanes too. So them being 3-0, it's not the end of the world for them. O's going for another kill on Brax, but he's learned his lesson. Yeah, the Bristleback's strong, man.
Yeah, it's good. You need more points in the Fury Swipes, I think. And you can see 1-4-3-7 actually stacking up the camps in the jungle. The Radiant jungle have a couple of stack camps. And if he gets a Ursa creep, he can actually come clear it. Or he could give it to the Razor. Plasma feels pretty
actually
good.
Rotating from mid. He has a haste rune. Let's see if he fires an arrow. 1437 looks to be a prime target, especially as these creeps are dying. He fires an arrow off. Does not hit anyone, and looks like this tower will fall. Can anyone get to deny, though? And no, 1437 will get it. Funny gets caught in the kinetic field, gets static linked up.
It's trouble.
Oh no.
This is not looking good. Dandy might die as well. The whips are really painful, and well, he dodges one strike there, but yeah. Well, there is quite a bit of there's quite a little bit of push with the Enchantress. Yeah, well, you don't need a lot of push, but Enchantress can always apply a lot of pressure to your lanes, and I think Na'Vi, if they pick something else with a counter push, they might not have to worry so much, but they're banking a lot on this Ursa.
I think this game would have been a lot different had Na'Vi been on the Radiant side, because this Dire offlane Brew, I've seen so many Dire offlaners get punished, even strong ones like Darkseer. I view Panda kind of like mid-tier offlaner, and he is just getting so heavily punished. Level 3, 6 minutes in, his tower has died. A couple of people have tried to help him out, but to no avail.
So the Dire offlane is disadvantaged because of the lack of pulling. Oh, Dandy gonna get caught middle. Leap. No.
It's not only the lack of pulling, it's just the lane is just so far out. Most of the time you can probably get it close to the river if you're on Radiant side, but on Dire side it's extremely difficult to do. The arrow comes out, it will connect with Korok, and doesn't look like anybody is close. I see Puppy hovering around the T2, but he's too low level to do anything. Level 4, he's like, okay, no boots yet.
Yeah, that's one of the disadvantages of Lion. You know, you level staffed, you suffer a little bit. The Earth Spike's not an amazing spell. Hex is good, but Earth Spike's just it's got good coverage though.
So it looks like Razor will be the one going for the mech. Brack's not sure what he's going for with his early gold.
And just a quick earn, I think. Maybe drums.
Maybe drums. I'd say drums is
early game. Early game is important for Na'Vi, and now they're gonna catch him.
Brack's just not scared at all. He's diving under the guys of the T2. Korok gets hexed up. No sentries out on the side of Na'Vi, but Moonlight Shadow will expire fairly shortly. 1437. Fogged head mid with Enchantress creeps. Nice Impale plus Starfall will clear all the creeps. What's the Starstorm?
Starstorm, yeah. It sounds cool.
Sounds cool indeed.
Starstorm, Blizzard.
But Navi haven't had their ultimates up on their important heroes. I would say Doom and Panda, those are the really important ultimates that you want to look for. And then aside from that, they have Finger of Death. So still waiting for that to come online. They'll probably be back on the scoreboard once that comes out. Ursa picks up early Morbid Mass, so they also have Roshan if they want to catch up. So
yeah, I think they get a good fight. Rosh is there, but they need more first fight levels, and you can see Hervo's actually getting a lot of levels in that because he needs to through all the tanks, like you said. And I think Funnick might go Midas. Maybe not actually.
Funnick?
I mean, not Funnick, Kuroki.
Oh, Kuro.
Yeah, Kuro might actually want to go Midas here. We'll see.
I think they're too far behind to go for Midas. I think they have. They don't have slightly better late game, but they have enough Roshan control that they don't really need to gear up for the late game. They just need to make sure they win the fights early so they have map control, and then once they get map control, they can do Roshan, and then they'll have better late games. So I think first things first is to start winning some fights.
So would you say Shadowblade Bling?
Shadowblade Blink, they probably need a mech. I don't see anyone else that's going to carry a mech. So Arcane Mech would have probably been pretty good, but he already went phase boot, so I don't know if he'll have
Oh no, Lion gets glimpsed back there. Has a cage fight with the pig. The ship comes in. It's gonna land right onto him, so he's gonna go down. Hervos comes in. He's gonna 1v4 here. He's gonna be in a little trouble. The arrow does hit on Enchantress, so that will help a little bit. But Bristleback is gonna clear off Hervos here, and the Ursa Warrior will fall. Doombringer on the way out, but get Kinetic Field once again. And this hero is just doing a lot of work. I doubted the Disruptor, but you know, we don't really need stuns when they don't really have Blink.
And the Bristleback too. Bristleback is just straight Superman in this game. They can't do anything to him. And we talked about how Doom is supposedly good for Bristleback in the early game, but when he's this far ahead and he gets that early kill on Hervos, they really can't touch him. And on top of that, I don't really know why Hervos went in. They already had the boat rum all on top of him, and he was like looking to burst down and support, and then he got good once, and he's like, oh crap, I got to turn around, and then everyone just fell from there. They could have just lost a T1 and one hero. Instead, they lose 3 heroes and a T1.
And Razor gets smacked on the other side of the map. So yeah, it's well, I keep saying we need Viper for Ursa, but you don't really need it before he gets his BKB. Actually, Viper is only good because Ursa gets BKB.
That's true.
But when he doesn't have his BKB, Bristleback, one goo and he just doesn't really move actually.
Yeah, it looks like Bristleback is the hero to control, and they really need something like Brewmaster Ultimate so they can just cyclone him, ignore him, and go for everybody else.
Yeah.
Like Fogged is, he can literally do whatever he wants in these fights.
Yeah. The Disruptor has his ultimate now, and Glimpse is just such a problem when you are behind because you don't have the money to afford BKBs. It's the same kind of logic as being behind against Invis, where you don't have the money to buy detection. And
looking for a wrap around here. Moonlight Shadow, but there's no sentry wards about. They just place it, expecting it, and the jig is up.
Yeah, wow. Hervos going for the Roshan. It'll work, I guess, if they buy enough time. The Moonlight Shadow will put Na'Vi on their toes, so they will not suspect a Rosh, I guess.
But at the same time, this tower is going to die very quickly. Snaking could easily get vision of there with a plasma field if it hits.
Oh no, the Lion once again. So Puppy gets impetus.
Still a risky play, and Hervos still chucking away at Roshan. It's about half HP. It looks like they know that Mirana's down there. I don't know if that arrow was the right move.
Plasma field. Oh, nice timing though. So.
Ooh, that was so close.
Yeah, that was cutting a little bit fine. They lose Puppy.
Does Roshan really matter that much at this point, though? I mean, they have to do it. They have to do something. To
I mean, you cannot give it away. With Bristleback, you can Rosh as well. So.
Funnick is level 6. He is a little bit to the left of the T2, perhaps looking for engage.
Oh, there we go. Oh no, get silenced! But does he have the time now? Yeah, he has the time. So he pops the ultimate. He's gonna spin the Bristleback. Is he gonna spin the Bristleback? Someone gets glimpsed back. Who gets glimpsed back? The ship will come. It's gonna land on all the Na'Vi heroes, but it will add the rum up. So that's gonna be a lot of it. The Ursa does lose its Aegis. Disruptor on the run, and again the kinetic field just kiting all of them. Razor just walked through it, and now Doombringer, he drops the He drops the Doom, but he's brought down. 3 heroes lost for Navi. Ursa still going for it, and then, well, that's Aegis doing some bit of work. Gets 1 kill. It helps when you respawn on top of them. Disruptor gets slowed there, gets another kill. Korok gets a double kill outside of this fight, and now they're just chasing the bear around, and now Havos will go down after the last Earthshock. So Navi, they lose 4 heroes, I think. Yeah, 4 heroes.
Navi, they lose 5 with the Aegis. I don't know if Mirana died that fight, but ouch.
Maybe he revived, yeah, but
they were trying to focus snaking down so hard and they couldn't do it. I think one of the heroes got static linked, he got mech'd up, and yeah, I don't know where the cyclone was, but that was very minor in the grand scheme of things. Fog almost just completely demolished Navi with that static storm catching out the Brewmaster, but he luckily got his ultimate.
Yeah, it ruined the tempo because he had to panic and run away, run out of storm first, and I think it was a good fight overall for Na'Vi, and oh, 13-1. Navi getting destroyed.
Well, they don't have the best late game lineup. I view their lineup as a very mid game oriented lineup. Hey, we got level 6 on Zoom, we got level 6 on Brewmaster, let's get some kills, and then we have Ursa and Mirana, heroes that scale decently well in the late game, but their strength is mid game fight, and they have just no mid game fight left. 12 minutes in, they are down by 12 kills.
Yep, and you see the Doombringer getting chased down by an invisible Kunkka. And they have a desperation smoke on the bomb lane as well. They don't have ultimates up, but yet they're trying to get something done.
They don't have their ultimates up though, so yeah. I don't think Na'Vi expects this at all for them to gank without their ultimates. But
oh, there's Finger, so you can get a kill Finger.
And Doom has cooled down, but Na'Vi playing pretty smart.
Yeah, we talked about the Kunkka pick for the additional tankiness for heroes. You know, normally you want to tank up a squishy hero, but when you tank up a tanky hero, it gets even worse. It's really hard to kill Bristleback and Razor, so with their Kunkka Ram, it's even harder. So now they're gonna push the tier 2 tower, and I'm not even sure Na'Vi can defend. I mean, the Finger of Death won't even do much damage now.
I mean, who are you gonna finger?
Yeah, there's no other finger. You can probably kill the Disruptor or the Enchant, but it's the rest of the heroes that will be killing you. The Ram gives movement speed as well, right? Yeah, so it's gonna be very hard to outrun anyone. So it's just a death ball.
So are Na'Vi actually looking to go high ground? I think it's a slightly too early for high ground. It's 14 minutes in.
No.
Guess they think they're far enough ahead.
Na'Vi doesn't have anything. They don't have any kind of defense. Well, Brewmaster get glimpsed.
Yeah, he got glimpsed back.
Got glimpsed down the
oh no, they're supposed to fight. Oh my goodness, Fogged, what have you done?
And no glyph as well. I don't know how they're gonna engage into this.
They can only win the fight, I think, with Doom and with Brewmaster Ultimate. But if you had to pick one of them, it would be Brewmaster.
No. Well, the arrow does land on a creep, and the silence comes out, so he does block their. It blocks the exit of the base, and now the Rum comes in. There is a doomed up Bristleback, but he really doesn't care. Like you said, he just mans up, tanks all of it down, and now Havos decides to kill himself. That was a sentry ward, but he was out of sentry ward range, and he buys back into the game.
They're one Ursa death away from GGing out. And did you see that kinetic field and static storm by Fog 2? What in the world?
That was great zoning, and now the Brewmaster has made his long track back. Again, the glimpse, gonna kite the Ursa, and I think so far Na'Vi has done a perfect job of kiting Na'Vi, and Enchantress is gonna be chased away once again, not cycloning the Bristleback, and not cycloning anyone actually. And Brewmaster getting killed here. Level 1 ultimate doesn't last for too long. He drops the Thunderclap, gets brought down, and I think Na'Vi are about to GG out here. Finger of Death doesn't do much.
This has to be GG.
Yeah, this is GG.
What a crushing team fight defeat. And
19-1.
Damn, that was brutal.
Yeah.
They couldn't touch Bristleback the whole entire game. And if you look at damage done, I would say he probably did like double anyone else, maybe up there with a Razor, but he was just literally untouchable.
Yeah, and they didn't look too happy crushing Na'Vi 19-1. Okay, there's a smirk.
Well, this is going to be good news for them heading into game 2.
Yeah, at least they don't go 0 wins. You know?
Yes.
They don't go 0 wins.
And that was a very impressive defeat too. They didn't just scrape by.
Yeah, they crushed Na'Vi, and I'm calling Pudge next game.
Calling Pudge.
It's like the last stand. When it's the last stand, you pick Pudge.
Yeah. Well, I don't really think it was that big of a draft field. I think their laning choices were a little bit greedy, but a little bit of was Havos overextension on top lane, giving that early kill to Brax, and then the nice rotations from Enchantress, good play by Fog on Disruptor. If I had to say MVP, it would be Disruptor.
Yeah, the zoning was amazing. Yeah, the kinetic field is just stupidly hard to walk out of, especially when you don't have BKBs. You just get caged in there. There are a lot of melee heroes on Na'Vi as well. Their cores were all melee, so yeah, they just got whipped. Well, it's like you get trapped in a pen and you just get whipped from the Razor.
Yeah, and the Razor, it like seemed like okay on paper, but I didn't really expect it to work out that well for them too. And it also allowed the Bristleback to go for more offensive item in the drum, so he could just do more damage.
Razor and Bristleback are tanks that you cannot ignore.
Yeah.
You can't ignore the Quills, you can't ignore the Static Link, so if you get two of them and you're stuck to fight, you just die. I think Navi might have been a little bit too aggressive at some points, like you said, Hervo's just running in where you don't need to. In situations like this, I guess you give up towers. I mean, that's the best you can do and try and get some money back. Try and farm your core items. And maybe if you get a BKB, maybe you can take a good fight. Without BKB, I don't see them actually taking any fights.
Yeah, so Na'Vi have lost. They went 0-5 in group stage, but keep in mind, a couple days beforehand, they were at boot camp, and I believe these two teams were scrimming each other a lot. So if they know one team the best out of these 5, it would probably actually be Na'Vi, maybe EG2, since they're both North American, and they probably scrim North American people too. But we'll see if Na'Vi has Navi's number again. We'll be back for Game 2 of the Navi vs Na'Vi series in the Summit Day 3. Thank you guys for watching.
Much love and Kappa.
We'll be back shortly.